2 Corinthians 5:14 says, "For Christ's love compels us." But what does it mean to be compelled by love? Is it enough to just be compelled, or is there something more to it? It was love that compelled God to send his Son to become man. It was love that compelled Christ to do all the wonderful things that he did. And it was love that compelled God to send that Son to Calvary. There's a common saying, nails didn't hold Jesus to the cross, love did. Compelled by his love for us, Christ acted. He suffered a gruesome death on the cross, and taking all of that into consideration, I think it's more than accurate to say that Christ has done his part. The question is, will we do ours? Christ's love can compel us, but what will we do with that love? It is on us to choose whether we will act on that love or let it stop with Christ. Take a car, for example. I can go out and I can fill the gas tank of my car with all that money that it takes to do that and not go anywhere. But then what does that gas do? I have to drive somewhere in order for that gas to do the good it's supposed to do. James 4:17 says, "Anyone then who knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, sins." That is a hard pill to swallow. Sin is not just the things we do knowingly against God, but also the avoidance of the good that we know we ought to do. How many of us have been in a situation where we knew what the right thing to do was, but we simply looked past it? If we're being honest with ourselves, we don't have to say that we've done just that. But why then, if we know the good, do we not do it? Our selfish ambitions often get in the way of showing that love to others that Christ has shown us. Philippians 2:3-4 says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others." We like to do whatever we can to be normal, but we still try to stand out in all the cool ways. We do whatever we can to fit into the mold that the world creates for us. A mold. The purpose of this mold is to make my ice cubes look like nice little penguins. It's not rocket science. If I put water in this mold and put it in the freezer, my ice cubes are going to come out looking like nice little penguins. Why do we try to mold ourselves to fit the imperfect world around us? We should be molding ourselves to be more like Christ. If we choose to give up our desires, that benefits not only us, but those who we are showing that love to. This is how the Message says that same verse in Philippians. If you've gotten anything at all out of following Christ, if his love has made any difference in your life, if being in a community of the Spirit means anything to you, if you have a heart, if you care, then do me a favor. Don't push your way to the front. Don't sweet talk your way to the top. Put yourself aside and help others get ahead. Don't be obsessed with getting your own advantage. Forget yourselves long enough to lend a helping hand. I think that verse speaks for itself. We need to forget ourselves long enough to lend a helping hand, to show that love. But it's our choice. And it all comes down to our attitude. My high school psychology textbook defines attitude as feelings often based on our beliefs, which predispose us to respond in a particular way to objects, events, and people. Our attitude predisposes us to respond. If our attitude isn't that of Christ, then no wonder we don't respond. No wonder we choose inaction in these situations. We should be exemplifying Christ in all that we do. If we strive to be the image of Christ's love in the world, if we have the mindset of Christ, then our only option is to love like he has loved us. Then that love will do the good that God intended it to do. It will change lives, families, nations, and ultimately, eternity. The bottom line is we need to die to ourselves. We need to let go of worldly things and be Christ's love in the world. Christ was compelled by love, but think, if Christ stopped at being compelled by love, where would we be? We need to do what Christ did. We need to go further than being compelled by love. We need to be compelled into action by love.